Baltimore Orioles.
Are you kidding me?
On Masson.
The Orioles have the lead!
And streaming live on the Masson app. It all starts right now.
Well, the rain has gone away, and hopefully there is sunshine ahead for the Orioles. On this Sunday afternoon, it is Orioles Cap Day. A whole lot of white caps, a whole lot of orange and black in the stands. Camden Yards was electric last night thanks to that man, Gunnar Henderson. Perhaps the biggest moment of his professional career. He has the Orioles on the brink of the postseason. The O's and the Rays close out their season series today at Oriole Park. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald with you. The light finally shone down on the Orioles again yesterday. They stopped a 4-game losing streak in emphatic fashion, beating Tampa Bay 8-0. And now the Orioles are on the verge of the postseason and on the verge of going 2 games up on the Rays in this all-important American League East chase. With last night, the Orioles won the season series tiebreaker over Tampa Bay. They've gone 7-5 with 1 game to go. That means any tie in the division goes to the Orioles. The Rays down a game. It's more like they're down 2. They would need to win it outright. And the Orioles can clinch that postseason berth today with a win, or if the Mariners lose at home to Los Angeles, or if the Rangers lose at Cleveland, both of which, by the way, happened yesterday. They can almost taste it, Ben McDonald, that elusive postseason berth that is so close for the Orioles, who have been in the driver's seat for a long time. Beyond that, they could take a big step toward winning that division today.
Yeah, no doubt. And last night was so huge for the Orioles. You know, as you mentioned, coming off 4 losses in a row, and I think all of Birdland kind of exhaled after last night because it was a big win, and now they, of course, control their own destiny still, and hopefully a win today puts them in the playoffs.
And last night was about as well as the Orioles have played in a game this season, spurred on by Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, he's had some unbelievable months, but the month of September for him, probably his best so far. I mean, defensively, he has been unreal, and at the plate this month, he's hitting .314. He's slugging .657 and an OPS of .981, and it was the other baby bird that got it done on the bump last night. Grayson Rodriguez, by far his best outing of his young career. 8 shutout innings, didn't walk a batter, punched out 7 in what was the biggest game of the year for the Orioles, and the youngsters came through in a big way.
We'll see if Dean Kramer can match him today. The Orioles looking to return to the postseason. The Tampa Bay Rays at 92-58, the 4th best offense in baseball, 5.3 runs per game. Here's how they line up today with the All-Star Yandy Diaz leading off the game. 16 straight on base against the Orioles, 32 straight against the American League East. In this pivotal game, they'll have a first big league start from Tristan Gray, who came off the bench to make his major league debut last night.
And they will face 27-year-old Dean Kramer. It's been a career year for Dean Kramer. Career high in wins, innings pitched. Now his 30th start of the year coming up. 141 strikeouts too. And boy, a little bit of a struggle his last time out, but he has been so good as of late. You go back to his last 12 starts, he is pitching to a 3.18 ERA over his last 12.
A 14th round pick of the Los Angeles Dodgers 7 years ago from UNLV. And Dean Kramer, 7 years later, can pitch the Baltimore Orioles into the postseason on this Sunday, September the 17th, 2023. We are underway with a low sinker to Yandy Diaz. First pitch today, 136, game 149 of 162, and a 72-degree day. Diaz grounds the next pitch to third. Ramon Urias is there, and Dean Kramer has a quick out. 2 pitches to get the All-Star Diaz.
Well, this is StatCast powered by Google Cloud. We'll take a look at Dean Kramer's pitch arsenal. His last time out against the Cardinals, 46% Fastball, then the cutter, sinker, curveball, and a changeup. And boy, the cut fastball has been the pitch for Dean Kremer for the majority of the year, but didn't have success his last time out. 4 for 7 were the Cardinals against what's been Dean Kremer's best pitch, his cut fastball.
There's Brandon Lau, and Lau takes a four-seam fastball up high. Why did you think the cutter wasn't great last time? Well, what can he do today?
We remember, I mean, the location of it. Like, I felt like it still had some of the same break, but he was leaving it up out over the plate as opposed to really locating it where he's done pretty much all year long.
Good location on that fastball to Brandon Lau. Well, this series is 2 for 12 with a home run, 3 driven in, and 5 strikeouts. The Suffolk, Virginia native and the former Maryland Terrapin. It's a Tampa Bay team that won 4-3 Thursday, 7-1 Friday, but the Orioles shut out the Rays last night, 8-0. Lau fouls a fastball straight back, 1-2.
Yeah, Dean Kremer's going to need both of his fastballs. So he's got the two-seam fastball he uses about 15% of the time, and that four-seamer about 36% of the time. He's going to need both of them to keep the right-handers honest, be able to pitch the lefties away to be able to get to his cutter and his breaking balls.
That's a curveball launched into right by Lau. Santander is at the wall, and it's gone for a solo home run off the bat of Brandon Lau. And 2 batters into the game, Tampa Bay strikes first on Brandon Lau's 21st home run.
Well, this is one of the many things the Tampa Bay Rays do well. They can hit the long ball. Came in with 213 homers, make it 214 now. That's the 4th best mark in baseball. Lau's 21st long ball of the year. And there's your curveball. But again, it's sitting up just enough. And Lau was fooled enough. See how the body kind of drifted a little bit out in front, but he kept those hands back and put a nice swing on that one.
One of 5 Rays with 20 or more home runs. Number 21 makes it 1-0 Tampa Bay in this crucial Sunday game. That's the 27th home run allowed by Dean. 30 starts. And now Randy Arozarena with a 1-1 count. Arozarena, one of those 5 Rays with 20 or more home runs. 6th in the American League at on-base percentage this year, .370. Loses his helmet. Big swing at the first Dean Kremer cutter. He's trying to become the 5th team to lead the American League in both home runs and steals. 3 more steals than Kansas City, 1 less home run now than the Angels.
I like what Dean Kremer's doing so far with that two-seamer. He's making the Rays, especially the right-handers, aware of the two-seamer in. He's going to keep him honest, so maybe he can get to those off-speed pitches on the outside part of the plate later on. 2 fastballs in, trying to go away here.
Up and in again at 96. Dean working with James McCann today. Ali Rutschman will DH. Arozarena 5 out of 12 in the series, a double, a triple, and a walk. And Arozarena is late on a sinker, so Kremer recovers after the home run with a strikeout.
Well, a lot like Grayson Rodriguez last night. Dean Kremer establishing the fastball. Good 4-seam fastball right to the bottom of the zone.
Two down in the inning for Josh Lowe. Luke Raley remains out of Tampa Bay's lineup after suffering an injury on a collision during batting practice yesterday. Lowe was a late addition to the lineup around an hour before the start of the game, and Raley, we're told, was available off the bench yesterday but remains out today. 1-2 for Josh Lowe.
Yeah, Dean Kremer had a few mechanical issues his last 2 starts. You go back and look. Against the Cardinals, he walked 4. And the start before that against the Angels, while he threw a shutout in 4 2/3, he did walk 3. Something he worked really hard on was his command in between starts.
Got a foul tip strikeout there at 97. Rays get the first run. O's will send Gunnar to the plate next. And in the circle, spearheaded the Orioles offense yesterday. First pitch single, part of a 3-hit day for Gunnar Henderson, who will lead the 6th best offense in baseball onto the field. Adley Rutschman DHing for the day game after night game, and Ryan O'Hearn, who smoked a ball last night for what we still think will be ruled a hit eventually, is batting 4th. There are the Orioles to face strike throwing machine Zach Littell, and his first pitch is a strike, and it's grounded to second. Expect a lot of that, Ben. 70% first pitch strikes this year from Zach Littell.
Well, Zach Littell's only walked 9 batters in 78 1/3 this year. That's how good he's been between Boston and Tampa Bay. Only 2 appearances with Boston before he was DFA'd. And of course, Tampa picked him up on May the 12th off of waivers, and he's been a big part of the rotation. He began the year in the bullpen when he came over to the Rays, and eventually, because of some injuries to the staff, worked his way into the rotation, and he's been really good. I mean, his last 2 starts have been his best. He went 8 innings against Seattle, only gave up 1 run in his last time out. He goes 7 innings against the Twins, only allowing 3 runs in that one. So back-to-back starts of at least 7 innings.
And Adley Rutschman sprays one the other way. A 1-out hit for Rutschman, turning first and charging into second base, and a lollipop throw is well late. That's an opposite field double. The sprinkler system is activated early on Adley's 25th double of the year.
That's what we saw the Orioles do so well last night. Take an extra 90 feet when time allows. Orioles don't have a ton of stolen bases, but what they do have is a bunch of guys that can run the bases well and understand them. You can see Rosa ran a little bit of time getting to it, and Rutschman in with yet another double, and boy, he needed that. Rutschman came in batting only 189 his last 15 games.
So the Orioles attacking early against Littell. They've got a runner at second for Anthony Santander. He'll swing at the first pitch and shoot it out of play, but this is some very, very strong contact. First 3 batted balls have been hit at 102 miles per hour or harder off of Zach Littell.
Well, be ready to hit, because Littell is going to throw a ton of strikes, and that appears to be what the scouting report is. We're going to get aggressive early in the count.
America's getaway day pitcher Zach Littell, who was an 11th round pick out of Eastern Alamance High School in North Carolina 9 years ago, or 10 years ago, the Mariners. 4th big league team with Tampa Bay. Santander goes up the ladder to chase a fastball for strike 2.
Orioles have seen Littell twice this year. Both times they saw him, it was out of the bullpen. But he's worked 2 appearances against the Orioles, a total of 3 innings. He gave up 1 run. The 1 run he gave up was a Gunnar Henderson home run in one of his relief appearances.
Anthony looking for his first hit of the series. 7 strikeouts, 0 for 12 for the Orioles' co-home run leader. And Santander swings through another elevated fastball. First strikeout for Zach Littell.
Littell's got a good fastball, and it's got some carry through the zone too. 4-seam fastball. You see where he starts it just above the belt and rides it just above the top of the zone. Fastball will be anywhere from 91 to really 96. He'll show you occasional 95, 96. Slider, a split finger fastball, and a sweeper.
There's the first pitch ball of the game. Comes to Ryan O'Hearn. Kevin Cash, 9th year manager for the Tampa Bay Rays, looking to send the Rays back to the postseason for the 5th consecutive year. O'Hearn muscles one into short right field. Josh Lowe, after a late break, has plenty of time, and Adley Rutschman stranded at second. 1 inning done, 1-0 Tampa Bay. Fast play home run riches contested of the game. James Crutchfeld from Pasadena has won $500 for being selected, and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play Fast Play Home Run Riches Bases Loaded Progressive ticket for a chance to win cash instantly. Play fast, win fast at any MD Lottery retailer. Fans are loud and proud on this Sunday afternoon. Many of them clad in their white giveaway caps, hoping to have something to cheer about. The Orioles 1 win away for the postseason. Isaac Paredes takes ball 1 to lead off the second against Dean Kramer. Paredes, the Rays home run leader with 29, which is tied for 8th in the American League. And Paredes with a pop-up off the end of the bat. Santander charging in from right field makes the play.
Well, here's the Oriole defense, now the 4th best defense according to fielding percentage. And boy, a big night last night. And this was Austin Hayes. This was in the 7th inning. Basabe hits a ball, and I mean pushes Hayes all the way back to the wall. He turned his back and ran wide open. One of the many plays the Orioles really shined on defense last night. Between Gunnar Henderson, O'Hearn, and Hayes, the defense was better than good.
One of their best defensive nights of the year, did you think?
I think so. I mean, the difficulty at some of the plays. I mean, I think hitting and what Hayes did and what Henderson did was the big night that O'Hearn had over at first base. I mean, he picked 2 or 3 balls on some really tough picks. A couple by Henderson over at first base. Of course, the backhand play that he had was outstanding as well. And that's what Brandon Hyde said. Look, in the pregame, you know, and he said, listen, I thought coming into this year we were going to be very strong defensively and our bullpen was going to be solid. He said, now, I didn't know the offense was going to be quite as productive as it has been, but that's what I felt like our constants were going in, was our bullpen. That was a strength, and our defense would be a strength, and it certainly has been.
Jonathan Aranda, the Rays DH, foul tip, strike 2. Second-year player who's put up monstrous minor league numbers, 339 with 1,063 OPS in 95 games this year in AAA Durham, 25 home runs. Has not translated to the big leagues to this moment, 1 homer in 24 games. And Aranda chops a ground ball to second. Adam Frazier off the backhand makes the play. 2 down for Kramer. Game 149 for the Orioles. Here's the umpiring crew. It's anchored by Clint Vondrak at the plate, Nick Marley at first, crew chief Vic Carapazza at second, and Adam Hammery down at third. Game 149 for the Orioles, 92 and 56. Game 151 for the Rays at 92 and 58. Manuel Margot takes a strike as called by Clint Vondrak. This is the last of 17 straight days with a game for Tampa Bay, which will be off tomorrow. And in fact, the Rays have 3 more off days down the stretch run. So they have the advantage of being more well rested down the stretch run. The Orioles have the advantage of a 2-game lead right now in the loss column. 0-2. High fastball fouled away. Another 97 out of the hand of Dean Kramer.
Yeah, I feel like Dean Kramer looks a ton better than what he did against St. Louis. I felt like the velocity on his fastball was down a little bit, and I felt like mechanically he was off, and that might be why the velo was down a little bit, but he stepped on 97 a couple of times already today, and the command looks to be pretty good.
That pitch was not there last time. A sharp cutter to get Margot in a 1-2-3 second. Burger King, there are over 200,000 ways to have a Whopper. Oh yeah. We're back to Camden Yards in a second, and Kyle Gibson joins us from the Orioles dugout. Kyle, good afternoon.
How's it going, guys?
How are you doing?
Good. Doing really good. Doing really good.
Everything good?
Oh man, this is some of the best days at Camden Yards right here, man. What a great weather. Fans are excited. You can feel the buzz. It's awesome.
When you were thinking about signing with the Orioles this past offseason, could you envision something like this? Is this kind of what you had hoped for?
Yeah, so I mean, my fondest memories here in Camden are 14, 15, 16 when they were really good. And hey, that was close to my eye. Heads up. All right, that was almost my eye.
All fun and games so somebody loses an eye.
Right, exactly. It's all right. Rookie dress-up's coming up. We'll get him. It's all right. I mean, I just remember, facing those teams, and Camden was electric. And Camden's always been one of my favorite road parks to play in. So, when the Orioles called, it was pretty exciting for me because I've always loved playing here.
Who is throwing seeds at you or whatever they're throwing at you right now?
Grayson and Bradish normally are in on those antics. Yep. But Grayson, we'll give him a little bit of leeway. He dominated last night.
Yes, he did.
So we'll give him a little bit of leeway.
2-2 for Cedric Mullins here. You've been in a lot of big games and big moments. What was last night like?
You could just kind of feel, once again, in the ballpark. All weekend it's been great, right? Friday with Jonesy's big day. And then yesterday, just the team, felt confident and had a really good emotion and vibe about us yesterday. So that's what playoff games are all about, is yesterday. All weekend, really. It's going to be an emotional ride. It's going to be ups and downs. You're going to have times where you might feel a little bit defeated. But, hey, you got to keep playing. You got to keep working.
Check swing grounded to short. Cedric Mullins is retired. Kyle, you were the Orioles nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award this season. And, in fact, we've got some pictures here, some of the things you've done in the community, working with local kids, with local groups. I know you've done a lot. Can you give us a summation of what you've been able to accomplish in this community this year?
I think Elizabeth and I just have, a goal and a passion, every city that we're in, to be able to have some sort of impact and use our platform for good. The Maryland Food Bank, one thing we normally try in every city is to try to get in touch with either a local soup kitchen or a food pantry or a food bank and try to help feed people, because there's a lot of families and kids that don't necessarily know where their next meal is coming from.
In the left, Austin Hayes, and 2 down here in the second.
I think between that and then there's, we normally try to find some sort of mission organization that, helps single mothers and helps families that, have been broken down for whatever reason. There's a lot of reasons for that. And, there's a lot of kids that are involved in those situations that, don't have a lot of say in what happens. So, trying to just bring a little light, bring a little hope into those situations and see if we can, have a hand in helping that family out a little bit.
Where does your passion for that come from?
For both Elizabeth and I as kids, as we grew up playing sports, our families knew that was a good swing. Beat him.
Deep center from Frazier. It's Margot at the wall. We could talk to you forever, Kyle, but we have to let you go now. But thanks again for everything you've done for this community this year and everything on the field. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Kyle Gibson, the Orioles Roberto Clemente Award nominee there. He was honored before the game on Roberto Clemente Day on Friday. By PNC Bank, helping to make a difference. And by Drive Easy MD. Drive Easy MD helps you cruise a little easier with Easy Pass, pay-by-plate, and video tolling. Visit driveeasymd.com. Quick 2 innings here, and the only hit of the game for Tampa Bay. Brandon Lau home run as the Rays in front. Adley Rutschman, the Orioles' number 2 hitter, with a double. Lau, the Rays' number 2 hitter, with a homer. Those are the only 2 base runners so far. T. Kramer's look good, and he jumps ahead of Tristan Gray, 0-2.
Yeah, so far command has been a lot better. I'm watching McCann. I'm watching where the glove is. I'm watching where Dino, how close he comes to the glove. A lot like Grayson Rodriguez last night, establishing fastball early, and D. Kramer throws a lot of fastballs. It's 51% on the year.
Fouled away by Tristan Gray. Ray's shortstop making his first major league start. 27 years old. Gray was added to the roster yesterday with Taylor Walls put on the paternity list. Got an at-bat, popped out.
Yeah, got some pop in the bat, too. AAA this year, 28 homers, 91 RBIs. Now, the batting average wasn't great. 234 batting average, but a lot of power. 6 years in the minor leagues. He's a career 236 hitter. And in 6 years in the minors, 106 long balls.
Former 13th round pick out of Rice back in 2017. And Gray takes a cutter just a hair inside.
You can't throw one 0-2 any better than that one.
Can wants it up. Kramer obliges. 2-2 for Tristan Gray. Christian Bethancourt, Yandy Diaz to follow for Tampa Bay. Orioles a 1-game lead over the Rays. They've won the season series. They own the tiebreaker. Rays trying to win the series. O's looking for a crucial split. Gray late on another fastball. The Orioles will head to Houston after the game, and there is the star of yesterday's game, Grayson Rodriguez, the Texas native. A professional career high 8 innings. Did not allow a run, did not walk a batter, and struck out 7.
I mean, it was as dominant can get.
This will be the 9th pitch to Tristan Gray. And there will be a 10th. Well, when you're in the minor leagues for 6 years and you have exactly 2,500 plate appearances in the minor leagues, why not make your first start last a little bit longer? Pitch number 10. And Gray hits it on a line to short. Gunnar Henderson is there. This Tuesday morning, Meet the Bird and Mr. Splash. This Tuesday night, beg your pardon, 5 to 6 p.m. Wise Markets on Bel Air Road in Nottingham. Fans have the opportunity to get soaked by Mr. Splash and take photos with the Bird and Mr. Splash. Plus, all fans receive a special ticket offer to a select Orioles home game in September. Visit Orioles.com/soakitin for more information. 1 double so far. Hopefully a lot of Mr. Splash still to come. Christian Bethancourt, Rays catcher for the 2nd time this series. He and Rene Pinto have split catching duties. Bethancourt about as free of a free swinger as there is. And he fouls off the first 2 pitches.
Boy, Dean's got it working too, right and left. 2 seamers in, that cutter away. Dean had only 1 start with against the Rays this year, but it was a good one. He went 6 innings, only allowed 4 hits, no runs, struck out 4.
Last 2 years, Kramer's been very good against Tampa Bay. Has struggled with them a little bit in 2021. But as he's turned his career around, he's pitched well against the Rays. 2-2, that cutter drags outside to Bethancourt.
Yeah, Dino's been consistent this year too. 20 of his 29 starts, 3 earned runs or less. Got 14 quality starts in his 29.
Bethancourt to the left side. That's Urias on a bounce. And that's a ground out induced by Kramer, who's retired 7 straight since the Lau home run.
And a lot like Grayson Rodriguez, his ground ball percentage continues to go up. He's creating a lot more ground balls the second half of the season than what he did the first half.
Here's Diaz. Yandy Diaz, one of 3 ground outs for Kramer so far. Well, the batting average against Kramer has dropped 58 points since the All-Star break. The on base 30 points, but the slugging is the big number, down 151 points. Has given up a home run today, but Kramer has done much better at keeping the ball in the ballpark, as you mentioned, on the infield.
Yeah, he's kind of changed what he's done, and the cutter's been a better pitch for him. I know he got hit a little bit his last time out, but overall the cutter has been the difference maker for him.
Another ground ball. This one is not fielded cleanly by Gunnar Henderson, but who cares?
It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. He's going to figure it out one way or the other.
A 1-2-3 for Dean. Gunnar Henderson, part of your DraftKings do-ups. We'll look at his and Ramon's and James's live home run odds when we return. DraftKings makes it easy to bet. Download the app and get your bets in now. Orioles' next 3 hitters. Gunnar Henderson has the best odds at +475. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Use promo code DIAMOND when you sign up. There's a called strike. Ramon Urias against Zach Littell. Ramon coming off a 2-hit night yesterday. On base percentage up to .334, which is one of the best marks of any Oriole. Very quietly, here comes Ramon Urias, Ben, who's reached base half the time in his last 10 starts.
Well, go back and look what he's done in his career in the month of September. He's hitting nearly .340 in his career in the month of September. Always a strong finisher.
Most of his hits have come to right field. He's got 35 hits to right. He's pulled 29. He's hit 27 up the middle. So it's one of the things that's made Ramon so difficult to defend. And we saw it yesterday. Both of his hits came to right field.
And that's really sums up this Oriole offense. There's not one guy that won't spray the ball in this lineup.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's two marginal pitches right there, both called against Ramon Urias.
I mean, just because Zach Littell's only walked 6 guys with the Rays doesn't mean everything's a strike.
No, that's not a strike. That ball is up and it's inside.
The machine agrees. So 3-2 now, and Urias strikes out swinging. So Littell, the benefit of the 3-1 call. Crowd doesn't like it, and then he strikes out Urias.
Such a big call right there. All of a sudden, if you get the walk, first guy's on, nobody out, instead it's a strikeout. But that's what the Rays do. I mean, you look at what they've done as a pitching staff. They're as good as anybody. Number 2 in baseball in ERA. They got the 5th most strikeouts in baseball, but the 3rd fewest walks.
Well, 1-2, James McCann, the last Orioles starter to hit. First appearance of the series for McCann. It's a pretty amazing story with Zach Littell, who has now walked 6 batters with the Rays in 77 2/3 innings. He has bounced around time and again from a very small high school in North Carolina. 11th round pick of the Mariners 10 years ago. A little bit northwest of Raleigh-Durham area. He's an Appalachian State commit, went to the Mariners, traded to the Yankees. Was in the offseason into 2017. The Yankees traded into the Twins in a deal for Jaime Garcia at the 2017 deadline. Up to Minnesota in 2018. Was there for 3 years. Pretty good as a reliever. Then outrighted, went to the Giants on a minor league deal, then the Rangers on a minor league deal. Red Sox for cash consideration. So he has never been seen as a major piece. And then the Rays claimed him off waivers in mid-May. One of their many waiver claims this year. And here's Littell, who is a full-time big league reliever. They saw something in him, and now he is a starter. McCann strokes one to the left. Arozarena started in, and it's over Arozarena's head. James McCann will pick up a double. A strange angle by Arozarena, and McCann and the Orioles take advantage for a 2-base hit.
Yeah, Randy Arozarena did not realize this ball was struck as firm as it was. You see him in the top left of your screen. The ball's hit. See him a little bit of a hesitation, maybe 1 or 2 steps in, and when he did that, no chance he's kept up with that ball. That'll go down as a double for James McCann.
And that 2-homer game a couple of weeks ago, or 8 days ago at Boston. That's his first hit since. And here is Gunnar Henderson. Hold on to your seats. First pitch taking this time. Gunnar's put the first pitch in play. 4 of his first 6 at bats the last 2 days. Oh, 2.
Gunnar Henderson against the Rays this year. The slugging percentage is way up. He has been barreling up some balls. How about 7 extra base hits? He's slugging .659 this season against the Rays, and currently enjoying his best month of the year. And he's had some good ones too. Slugging .657 in the month of September with an OPS of .981.
He has moved into the top 10 in the American League in extra base hits, and he has moved into the top 4 Baseball Reference WAR for position players. That's only the offensive Shohei Ohtani. He's at 10.1 total, but this is the kind of offensive group he's in. But he strikes out here on a splitter, a really good one for Zach Littell's 3rd strikeout.
Now, Littell throws that splitter not a ton, about 19% of the time. But it's got a really good swing and miss. A little bit better than 25%. Probably that and his sweeper is his 2 best out pitches he has as far as opponent's batting average, and that's a good one. Because again, the fastball is hard enough for Littell. We've seen it at 96, so you kind of got to get your foot down and get going. And that splitter's about 10 miles per hour difference in speed.
That's off the plate to Adley Rutschman.
What's odd about Littell, his 12 starts, a 3.80 ERA. His 13 relief appearances this year, a 5.7 ERA. Normally it's just reversed for guys that are pretty much relievers and begin to start a little bit.
Oh, a diving play by Diaz at first. He just stole a run from Rutschman. Yandy Diaz robs Adley Rutschman of a run-scoring double, and the Rays take the lead into the fourth. High-value dental and vision benefits for individuals at teethkeepers.com. Enroll today and save and smile. It's Sunday. Never too young to get him started. Never too young to learn about Oriole magic. The O's 1 win away. Nice double hat from clinching a postseason berth. In fact, both teams today have a magic number of 1. So definitely the winner is going to celebrate after the game, but the losing team may clinch a postseason berth as well. If either the Rangers lose at Cleveland or the Mariners lose at home to the Dodgers, both these teams will go to the playoffs. Top of the third right now at Cleveland. The Rangers have a 1-0 lead, and then the Mariners don't get underway until 4:10 Eastern time. Both these teams are going to the playoffs anyway. Orioles and Rays both at 92 wins. But today could be a happy clinch miss for both Kevin Cash and Brandon Hyde. And it might not be long before they see each other again in the postseason.
Rays trying to get there for what, the 5th consecutive year, trying to win the East for the 3rd time in the last 4 years.
1-2 for Lau, who's homered. The playoff format is, particularly this year, a little bit tougher for the 1 seed. The 1 seed, and either of these teams should be the 1 seed, whoever wins the division, will be matched up with the winner of the 1 and 2 wild cards, top 2 wild cards, the 4 and 5 seeds. The number 2 seed gets the winner of the 3 and the 6 seeds. That ball's popped up by Lau into center. Cedric Mullins with those visor sunglasses on. Well, don't miss the Orioles Fan Appreciation Sweepstakes happening right now. Enter for the chance to win 2 tickets to a game for Fan Appreciation Weekend, the final weekend of the year, plus an Orioles prize pack. Entry must be completed by 10 in the morning tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, for your chance to win. No purchase necessary. Go to Orioles.com/fan appreciation sweeps. Strike 2 of Rosarena. It looks like Minnesota will be the 3 seed. They're 7 ahead of Cleveland, 78-71. And then they'll play the 3rd wild card. So if you're the number 2 seed, which is likely the winner of the American League West, either you get the worst division winner or you get the worst wild card. If you're the 1 seed, you get one of the best 2 wild cards. In a year where the divisions are a little more even, that might make more sense. But this year, it actually could be a strange advantage to get the 2 seed. So the Orioles and Rays, 1 should be the 1 seed and 1 should be the top wild card. As Rosarena is blown away for a 2nd time by Dean Kramer. That's strikeout number 4.
Yeah, Dino's got some life in the heater today. I didn't feel like it was there his last time out, but this ball is absolutely exploding through the zone. A perfectly placed 4-seamer after a couple of breaking balls to slow that bat down. Just a heater right by him at 96 on the outside edge.
That's 10 in a row retired. The only base runner, the Lau home run in the 1st. Josh Lowe. One of the possible intriguing matchups you could have an all Lowe brothers series. Josh's brother Nathaniel playing for Texas. If the season ended today, and it doesn't, Tampa Bay and Texas would play each other as the top 2 wild cards. Toronto would go to Minnesota. Seattle just a half game back. Still a lot to be decided. The East winner, the West winner with 3 teams within a game and a half, and then that whole wild card picture between the West Division teams and the Blue Jays. 3-2 for Lowe.
Has Kramer thrown a changeup yet today? I don't remember one.
You are right. Not a single one. And that's his first walk and snaps a streak of 10 straight retired. We didn't see many of those from Grayson Rodriguez yesterday either. Both of these starting pitchers have really gone after the Rays with fastballs.
Yeah, Grayson's fastball usage up, what, about 19% last night from what he typically does. But he probably had his best fastball of the year when you combine the velocity with the command that he had. But clearly that's been a scout report for the Orioles against the Rays. It's been a little bit heavier use on the fastballs, especially early in the game. Now, Grayson did go to some off-speed stuff as the game went forward. In the 7th and the 8th inning, I felt like got a few strikeouts on the slider. Changeup was a big changeup. He didn't throw it much, but he did have some big outs with it, including a double play.
Well, the numbers do tell you this Rays team is one of the best teams against breaking balls in baseball, one of the best teams against off-speed pitches. They're middle of the pack in terms of fastballs. They're third best in the league batting average against breaking balls, 8th against off-speed pitches, only 17th versus fastballs. And they have seen a heavy dose the last couple of nights. Two strikes on the powerful Paredes. And that's in the dirt, blocked by McCann. Isaac Paredes, a dead pull power hitter. All 51 of his career home runs have gone to left. If you stacked up all of the fly balls Isaac Paredes has hit in his career, only 20 of his 51 home runs would have been out here at Camden Yards. Now, he plays in the right ballpark. It's a little bit more gettable in left center at Tropicana Field than he has gotten it time and again. Paredes on the ground to Urias, gets the short out at second. It's another scoreless inning. Dean Kramer's been really good. Now the Orioles bats try to be better. Area Toyota dealers for legendary safety and reliability. Choose Toyota and let's go places. We are indeed. The Orioles 1 win away from clinching a postseason berth. They trail the Rays 1-0 through 3.5. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald, and Rob Long. Zach Littell has done what Zach Littell usually does, thrown strike after strike, 37 pitches through 3, and his 38th floats in for strike to Anthony Santander. Part of the Orioles order: Santander, O'Hearn, and Mullins. 6 batters hitting left against Littell today, who spikes a sinker. Left-handers have actually hit a little bit worse than righties against Zach Littell this season. But they have hit his fastball very hard. Throws a splitter just off the plate. Orioles put up 8 yesterday, 6 off the Tampa starter Tyler Glasnow, 2 off Erasmo Ramirez in the Rays bullpen. But this Rays bullpen has been about untouchable of late. Saw a 36-inning streak without allowing an earned run snapped yesterday. Let's go to the last 12 games. The Rays bullpen has allowed 1 earned run.
Yeah, 1 earned run in their last 40 innings of work out of that bullpen.
Kyle Snyder's superb pitching coach. On a 3-2, Santander pops it up. Paredes down behind the third base bag, and Anthony is 0 for 2. With Orioles online auctions, you can score exclusive game-used items from your favorite O's players, including Gunnar Henderson and Austin Hayes. Their game-used jerseys available for this weekend's auction, which closes tonight at 10 p.m. Proceeds benefit the Orioles Charitable Foundation. Bid now at Orioles.com/auction. Ball 1-2, Ryan O'Hearn. Rays' big relievers are well rested today. Fairbanks, Poche, Stevenson, Armstrong. So you want to win, you'd better get to Zach Littell. And if Zach Littell gets that call, it's going to be a lot harder.
A two-seam fastball. Just about 2 balls low in the outside part.
This one deflects off Littell. A ricochet from Ryan O'Hearn. He will run on a Rosarena as well. And he's safe at second. The Go-Go O's pick up another double. This time it's O'Hearn.
Boy, the Orioles continue to pressure up defenses right off the right arm of Littell. Randy Rosarena, a little bit of a late break. And Ryan O'Hearn just runs right in his face, ends up at second base with a 1-out double. This ball looked like it caught Littell off of his throwing arm to me.
So some folks from the Rays, one of the members of their training staff, along with Kevin Cash, are out to talk to Zach Littell, who will throw at least one warm-up pitch. Kyle Snyder is on the bullpen phone just in case.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it got him below the elbow or above the elbow.
Ball was hit at 99 miles per hour off the bat of O'Hearn.
Looks like he's good. He's telling him I'm good to go. Boy, Littell has been so big for the Rays, too. After injuries, Springs went down, Rasmussen went down, McClanahan goes down. Yeah, just a one-hopper, and or did he get his hand? It almost like he put his hand up.
He'll stay in the game to face Cedric Mullins. And miss a little bit up with that slider. Yesterday, Grayson Rodriguez took a ground ball off the calf, stayed in the game. Mullins, broken bat, ground ball to Diaz. Littell runs around the shattered lumber, makes the play at first. O'Hearn down to third, but there are 2 away.
Two of the best teams, 1 and 2 in baseball, hitting with runners in scoring position. The Orioles come in at #1, the Rays #2. Orioles had a big night last night, 6 for 11 runners in scoring position.
Austin Hayes, left field. That's the Orioles' first hit with a runner in scoring position today, and he ties the game by scoring O'Hearn. What a time for your first hit of the series. Austin Hayes ties it at 1.
A lot of big knocks last night with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, and it's Austin Hayes gets the party started for the Orioles. There's a really good look at that slider. That one kind of backed up, and it backed up right into the barrel of Austin Hayes, and a line drive base hit, and we are all new again here in the bottom of the 4th.
A rocket single. That pitch, right-handers have hit very hard against Zach Littell. That's the pitch he throws the most to righties. It's a slider that looks more like a cutter. And it stayed up there for Hayes. Now Frazier down the line and left. The Rosarena chugging into foul ground, puts him away. But the Orioles get the big hit they've been looking for 3 innings. Austin Hayes squares the score. Maryland's music capital with the Annapolis Songwriters Festival this September. Plan your visit today at visitannapolis.org. And by Maryland Saves. Maryland Saves, the free and easy retirement savings program for small businesses. For the first time since Brandon Lau hit a home run on the second batter of the game, we are tied again. At some point, that kid will finish that hot dog. Hopefully he'll finish it soon. That's ball one to Jonathan Aranda. And Dean Kramer has been really good with his fastball, particularly since that home run.
Yeah, fastball usage up just a tick. There's a first changeup of the day, huh?
How about that?
It's been a difference maker for Dino, too. First half of the season versus the second half of the season. Opponents hit 304 on Dean Kramer's changeup before the All-Star break, only hitting 190 off of it since the All-Star break.
And apparently it felt so good out of the hand. Back-to-back changeups to get ahead of Aranda.
Well, and I think the changeup for Dean Kramer is why he's been able to neutralize a lot the left-handed hitters, too. Lefties hit off of Dean Kramer before the All-Star break, 307. Lefties only hitting 194 off Kramer the second half of the season. And I think the biggest reason why has been the changeup.
2-2. Aranda pops a fastball out of play. Harold Ramirez is having a wonderful season as the Rays' usual DH. 304, 797 OPS. Sometimes Kevin Cass prefers to use him off the bench. It's Aranda getting the start, and it's Kramer who finds the changeup for 3 strikes in the sequence.
Boy, it's nice to save something. Dean Kramer saved that changeup to the 5th inning, and when he broke it out, it has been really, really good. That thing, a lot of right to left movement.
Never know what he's going to have in the bag of tricks. Strike one on a cutter to Margot. Ready for 9 2 doubles in a series for Manuel Margot. That's a curveball down to third. Urias playing in. A routine out. 2024 Birdland memberships are on sale now, and we're not going to tell you this for much longer because you have until Tuesday to buy a Birdland membership and get access to postseason tickets for this year. Plus benefits including an increased discount on concessions and merch up to 30% off. Special Birdland rewards and more. Buy a Flex or Reserve Birdland membership today at Orioles.com/membership. Tristan Gray's third major league at bat. He is 0 for his first 2. And there's another changeup. Look what he found.
Boy, did such a good job throwing fastballs in the first time through. And we call it a changeup, and it is, but it's almost like a split finger grip. If you watch Dino, he's going to grab the ball. When he gets on the mound, he's going to go to that changeup grip every time. So he'll stick it in there. And you can see how he spreads right there. See how he spreads the fingers? So he gets his changeup grip as it goes into the glove.
Right field, and Tristan Gray has his first major league hit. After 2,500 plate appearances in the minor leagues, the 13th round pick out of Rice University 6 years ago, the Pittsburgh Pirates, picks up his first big league hit.
Yeah, 4-seam fastball elevated. Really good swing, too. There's the ball. Will they throw it in the stands?
Hopefully this is not a Pete Alonso situation here. Get it to the authenticator. And congratulations to Tristan Gray, who was with the team because Taylor Walls is on the paternity list. 7 years in the minor leagues, the last 3 in AAA. His manager came to his apartment yesterday morning. Strike 2 to Bethencourt. Tristan said he missed about 7 calls, and he woke up to Michael Johns, his manager, hammering his door. He said, my contacts weren't in. I opened the door. It's blurry. And I'm just like, is this happening? He's like, yeah, man, you're going.
Yeah, you got 28 homers in AAA. You better have your phone ready to go.
So a cool moment for him, and Deke Kramer trying to work around it against Bethencourt. 0-2. Deke Kramer has something wrong with his face right now, and Brandon Hyde is managing this like a playoff game. Dean's been really good, but he's got Danny Coulomb up already.
You see, Dino's at 80 pitches. I'm a little bit surprised Danny's up that quickly.
Bethencourt pops it up. James McCann couldn't find it. Now he's got it. And Deke Kramer's got another scoreless inning. A solo home run, 2 batters in. Nothing since for Kramer. DraftKings do-ups. We'll look at the total runs, live odds when we return. The DraftKings Sports. Here are your live odds for the over-under total runs, 6.5. The over is slight favorite at -120. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Use the promo code DIAMOND when you sign up. Good baseball game through 4.5. Hoping to clinch for somebody's dad's birthday. That would be fantastic. O's and Rays all tied at 1. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald here in the booth. Rob Long down below. Our entire Masson crew. And Ramon Urias first pitch swinging with a foul ball against Zach Littell. How much longer will these teams stick with their starters?
Coulomb was out throwing in the Oriole bullpen. Looks like the Rays have action. Looks like a left-hander. Got to be Colin Poche for the Rays.
Left side Urias. A clean hop for Paredes at third. And Ramon is 0 for 2. And Zach Littell's been superb. And his last 2 starts, he's thrown 7 and 8 innings. He's the first Rays starter to throw 15 innings in a 2-start span since Ryan Yarbrough in June 2 years ago.
Yeah, they continue to ramp him up. Remember, he started as a reliever.
James McCann is jammed. Here's Gray from short. Throw him out. And here comes Kevin Cash. And that's going to be it for Zach Littell. Again, if this is June 14th, Zach Littell might be throwing into the 8th. But in a must-win game for both teams, Kevin Cash is going to turn this into a bullpen game.
For him, 4 2/3, 4 hits, only 1 run. The Orioles got him for 1 run in the 4th inning. RBI single by Austin Hayes. And now it's time for our Jiffy Lube pitching change. You know Jiffy Lube for quick, convenient oil changes. Now we do services for brakes, batteries, and tires. Oil changes and more. Now that's a job for Jiffy. And there is Zach Littell. He'll look out of the mound. He'll see Colin Poche making his 61st appearance of the year. Boy, has he been good. 12 wins out of that bullpen. 20 holes, a very good ERA. 53 strikeouts, and opponents only hitting 188 off the left-hander, Poche. 2-pitch mix for him. That's all it is. Fastball and slider, but both pitches well above average. Opponents hit 221 on the fastball and only 129 on Colin Poche's slider.
And Gunnar Henderson dribbles that slider out of play. This is modern day baseball, and specifically this is Rays baseball, and it has been for a while. Zach Littell was superb, but this is the Poche pocket. Henderson with a couple of switch hitters, a couple of lefties after that. The Rays, as many teams do, game plan extensively, and they find spots in the lineup where they think a particular reliever will be most successful. And with a run of lefties and switch hitters here, they think this is the spot for Colin Poche, even as well as Zach Littell pitched. Henderson a ground out and a strikeout against Littell. 1-2 here.
Yeah, I feel like the Rays have been ahead of the curve on this for years. I mean, they kind of made the opener popular years ago when really nobody else was consistently doing it.
And Henderson goes down swinging. So Poche in to face Henderson. He strikes him out. It's a 1-2-3 fifth for the Rays. Sixth inning is presented by Arby's. We begin the sixth inning in the Splash Zone. Mr. Splash, king of the bird bath, celebrity of the bird bath, taking pictures. Hey Gunner, it's funner in the bird bath, says the sign. We believe it.
We've all used that word once or twice.
Funner?
Funner.
This has been one of the funner series of the year, don't you think?
Yes.
Last couple of days anyway.
And Yanni's going to need a new bat. That one cracked right off the end of it.
So Dean Kramer is out there to start the sixth. Danny Coulombe is ready in the bullpen. There's a lefty on deck in Brandon Lau. We'll see how long Brandon Hyde sticks with his starter, who has been fabulous.
Yeah, and Lau is who is responsible for the only run Dean Kramer's given up. Solo homer.
Is this a spot where your manager might tell you, I'm putting you out there for one batter?
I think so. Communication's always important. That way it's not a shocker to Dean Kramer, because if you look up and you've given up 2 hits and 1 run through 5, you're kind of shocked when the manager comes out with 1 out in the 6th.
Both of these bullpens extremely well rested today. Game that feels like a must-win, probably more so for Tampa Bay, which would fall 2 back without the tiebreaker, which basically means they'd be 3 back of winning the division. But if the Rays win, they tie the Orioles for first. Here in the American League East, 3-1 pitch, and that's low. That's ball 4. Dean Kramer not happy with himself after that leadoff walk, and that is going to be the end of his day.
I thought he had a chance to stay in the game if he collects the out with Diaz, but when he walked Diaz, that was probably going to be the end of the day for Dean Kramer.
5+ really good innings for Dean Kramer. They will come to an end with Brandon Lau coming up for Tampa Bay. A nice hand from the Camden Yards crowd for Dean Kramer.
Kramer, he goes 5+. Brandon Lau got him with a hanging breaking ball. That was the only run Kramer would give up. Then he would go to work after that. The next 10 batters he saw, he would retire all 10 of them, 4 of which by strikeouts. I tell you what, the fastball had a lot more life for me today, up to 97, threw some really good cutters down the way, and then the changeup played there in the 5th inning as well. So all in all, a solid day for Dean Kramer. 5+, 2 hits was all he allowed, 1 run, walked 2, and punched out 5. He give way to Danny Coulombe, making his 55th appearance of the year. Danny's had an outstanding year for the Orioles. 2.38 ERA, 5-1 strikeout to walk ratio, which is outstanding, and opponents hitting just 228 off the left-hander Coulombe.
He is on to face Brandon Lau after a leadoff walk for Yanni Diaz. And a ground ball immediately. Danny Coulombe into the game. He gets 2 outs with 1 pitch.
Wow, Brandon Hyde continues to push the right buttons in the right moments for the Orioles. A little clap from Dean Kramer and a really good breaking ball down the way. This is about as routine as it gets. Little 4-6-3 Frazier, a nice shovel over to Henderson, and you can forget about it. When he gets it in that right arm, you are out over at first base, and you know Danny is fired up. 1 pitch, 2 outs.
Rosarena now. Down and in for ball 1. Danny Coulombe, for one of the only times this season, is well rested. He hasn't thrown since Monday. He's on 5 days rest. And Coulombe has come out of the gates looking sharp. There's a good cutter, and Rosarena couldn't hold up. Plucked from obscurity in the Twins bullpen, Danny Coulombe has become an essential part of this Orioles team. Where would they have been without him early in the year? Where would they be without him now? A pitcher who's allowed some of the softest contact in baseball.
Now Jorge Lopez starting to get loose. Looks like he's going to be next.
There's 93. That's a little bit harder than we usually see from Danny, who averages about 91, 92 with a fastball. Rosarena 2 strikeouts today. 2-2. And Rosarena is jammed. He pops it up to shortstop, and Danny Coulomb does his job. Brilliant relief of Kramer in the 6th. This game still tied. Orioles baseball is presented by Arby's. Just had the hot dog race with the hot dogs rolling in some sort of body of water. Big win for Relish, which is tightening the gap down the stretch. Mustard still in the lead.
Yeah, I feel like Relish has been really hot second half. Relish hardly ever won the first half. Nobody ever picked Relish.
Relish's expected win probability way up here in the second half. Adley Rutschman batting. That leads us to today's Indeed player resume coming into today. Adley Rutschman much better here at Camden Yards. 12 of his 18 home runs have come at home. And he's facing Colin Poche, and he pops one out of play. Rutschman and Santander, then Ryan O'Hearn due up to face Poche. 61st game out of the Rays bullpen, the most of any Tampa Bay pitcher. And there is a former Oriole, Sean Armstrong. Remember, this Tampa Bay bullpen has been elite, absolutely elite. 36 innings without allowing an earned run. That was snapped yesterday. Last 12 games, though, they've allowed just 1 earned run. That's a .23 ERA. 1 earned run, 39 innings. Rutschman drives one into right center field, and Manuel Margot tracks it back for the out. Time for today's Arby's matchup menu. Zach Littell and Dean Kramer, both shorter starts than you might ordinarily see given the stakes of the game, but both very good.
Yeah, I thought they both were outstanding. Zach Littell just pounds the strike zone. Only 9 walks on the season for him. I thought Dean Kramer was really good. Gave up that solo home run, then retired 10 in a row after that.
A swing there from Anthony Santander on the slider. Strike 1 from Poche. It's a full-on battle of bullpens now, and they are 2 of the best bullpens in baseball.
The Rays bullpen ranks 9th, but as you mentioned, what they've done recently, it is way better than that. Of course, the Orioles bullpen sitting at 2nd in Major League Baseball in ERA.
And Brandon was asked about that before the game. Are there similarities you see between these 2 teams? And he went to the bullpen. Different guys, different looks, different arm angles. There's a variety of options for both teams. And that is a fastball beautifully painted by Poche, who strikes out Santander.
And while Poche only has a 2-pitch mix, boy, if you even start to look for that slider, he's got plenty on the fastball to get it by you. And he just pops it right to the outside part at 94 miles an hour.
Ryan O'Hearn will get a rare at-bat against a lefty. High and tight to O'Hearn.
Yeah, it was Hayes that drove in O'Hearn, but don't forget it was O'Hearn's hustle double to get to second base on the ball that went off what looked like the throwing arm of Littell at the time. Shot out toward left center field. O'Hearn hustles it out to double. And Hayes would drive him in.
O'Hearn out of play to the right side. He did hit a home run off of Colin Poche earlier this season, July 23rd at Tropicana Field. A left-on-left home run, just barely inside the left field foul pole. Might have even scraped the foul pole. In an Orioles 5-3 win. 2-2 for O'Hearn here. That home run is one of only 4 Colin Poche has allowed this season. Ryan Mountcastle still likely unavailable off the bench. O'Hearn in to face Poche. And O'Hearn strikes out looking against Poche. The Rays bullpen up to their old tricks again. 4 up, 4 down for Poche.
To make a difference. The Guardians are leading the Rangers in the top of the 5th inning 9-1. Why is that so important? Because if the O's win today, they clinch. If the Mariners lose today, they clinch. If the Rangers lose today, they clinch. One of those scenarios happened, and the Orioles are in the playoffs for the first time since 2016, and that's all that matters. Dean Kramer gave the Birds what they needed. But Ben, I know the team is not going to celebrate a lot if they clinch tonight, but you and I are both bourbon guys. We can do that, and Kevin can drink a Shirley Temple and drive us home.
Rob, I'm going to Houston. I have work to do.
Kevin needs one of those fruity drinks with a little umbrella on it.
Yeah,
That's
Rudy
what he
Tooty
needs.
Fresh and Fruity or something. I don't know, but you and I can drink some bourbon.
That's right. We're going to celebrate one way or the other.
Kevin, no offense, man, but
First of all,
they card at the bars and your card doesn't work.
First of all, I had bourbon after the game last night. Thank you very much.
You made it back to work?
What's wrong with a fruity drink? What's wrong with an umbrella in a
There's
drink?
nothing wrong with the drink. My daughter
Exactly.
Stephanie drinks them all the time. 22.
Thank you. I think. Not sure if I should thank you.
Love you, though.
Love you.
Well, this is taking a true turn. We will be headed to Houston after the game, and hopefully there will be a celebration. You just saw the magic number is 1 as Danny Coulomb misses high to Josh Lowe. So, again, Cleveland all over Texas. If Cleveland beats Texas, that means both of these teams clinch a playoff spot. But that game is in the 5th inning, so it's got a way to go to catch up with this one. 2-2 for Josh Lowe. And a little ground ball swept over to second. Adam Frazier got him by a step. Danny Coulomb has the first out of the 7th. O's fans, join us in celebrating the legacy of historically black colleges and universities on University Nights celebrating HBCUs. Wednesday, September 28th, the Orioles take on the Red Sox. $5 of every ticket sold will go towards initiatives that support HBCUs. Come out, enjoy the game, show your support. 6:35 next Wednesday night. To learn more, go to Orioles.com/HBCU. Danny Coulomb's day is done. What a day it was. Back to the bullpen. Go the Orioles. Light moment.
Yeah, Danny Coulomb entered the game. Nobody out. Runner on first base. No problem. First pitch, breaking ball. A little 4 to Frazier. A little flip to Gunnar Henderson. 4-6-3 double play. 1 pitch, a couple of outs. And boy, Danny was outstanding again. 1 in the 3rd. Perfect for him. This Oriole defense continues to turn double plays. The 8th most in Major League Baseball. 5th most last year. The last 2 years, the Orioles have been really good at turning 2. It'll be up to Jorge Lopez now. He worked 1 perfect inning in game 1 of this series with a strikeout, making his 57th appearance of the year between 3 clubs. 6-2 record, 45 strikeouts. Opponent's hitting .294 off the right-hander, Lopez.
He's on to face Isaac Paredes and starts him with strike 1.
Boy, that breaking ball was really good the other day. It has been good for Lopez. It's a high-octane 2-seam fastball, too. Fastball tick up 97, 98.
There's 97, and there is strike 2 on Paredes. Jorge Lopez, who is ineligible to pitch for the Orioles in the postseason, is trying to help pitch the Orioles into the postseason. He can't be on the postseason roster because he was not in the organization by September 1st, but he can help get them there. 0-2 for Paredes. On the ground to third. Clean backhand Urias. And the throw is there. Another fine play by Ramon Urias. 2 down in the 7th. Well, catch Orioles baseball anytime, anywhere on the MASN app. Watch games live, receive expert analysis and player stats all in the palm of your hand. Don't miss a pitch. Download the MASN app today. Danny Coulomb, an inning and a third, 11 pitches, 7 strikes. He faced 4 batters and got 3 outs. 2 down for Jonathan Aranda. There's another beaut of a breaking ball.
Telling you. I love the way Jorge's throwing right now. Just more aggressive in the strike zone with his stuff. And it is big time stuff.
That pitch has a heck of a left hook on it.
Shintaro Fujinami will be next, it looks like, for the Orioles.
Two-strike pitch.
That looked like a changeup by Lopez there. It was 92, but that's the changeup.
Jonathan Aranda has grounded out and struck out today. 1-1 game in the 7th. And Aranda is down looking. Jorge Lopez cooking in relief here in the 7th.
Come on, big fella. How about 98 right to the top of the zone? The Orioles are off the field. We got a good one for you. 1-1 going to the bottom of the 7th.
Country Boy time here at Camden Yards. Home game number 75 of 81, at least in the regular season. And it appears there will be a postseason clinch today. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald. Right now the Texas Rangers trailing 9-1 to Cleveland. That win would put the Orioles into the postseason, but they're looking to get there with a win.
Yeah, I mean, look, you get in the playoffs any way you want to, but it feels better when you get in with a win, of course. And that's what the Orioles are trying to do. And look, Orioles are going to be happy about being in the playoffs, but the real goal is to win the AL East, to get a bye in the first round, to go straight to the division series. So these are two heavyweights going at it again. I mean, two teams that have been really, really good. I feel like they've been just right at each other the last couple of months. And the last time the Orioles saw the Rays, they went in there and they won 3 or 4 in Tampa. And boy, since then it's kind of been just back and forth. The Orioles have had the lead, and it'll be up to Robert Stevenson now. And boy, has he been good as of late. Stevenson now 12 consecutive scoreless innings pitch out of that Rays bullpen.
Colin Poche is out. Stevenson is in to throw strike one to Cedric Mullins. Those 12 innings spanning 14 games. These numbers are just insane. 12 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk. It was intentional. 22 strikeouts at a 39 faced. Just another Rays reliever, essentially off the scrap heap. He had a 5.14 ERA with Pittsburgh. He's got a career ERA of 4.67, and he's turned into one of the best relievers in the majors. Cedric Mullins chases that slider from Stevenson, 1-2. Colin Poche threw 16 pitches, 13 strikes, struck out 3 of 4 batters faced in his scoreless inning and a third. Mullins, Hayes, and Frazier left, right, left due up to face Stevenson. And Mullins chases a cutter up and away for strike 3. So here's Austin Hayes, who has driven in the only run of the game. Leads us to today's Super Bowl, brought to you by Hyundai. It's your journey on every mile in a brand new Hyundai.
Yeah, 2 out. O'Hearn out at second base. Just got a breaking ball that hung up in the zone. A line drive out to left field pushes O'Hearn home. And that would tie the game, and that's where we sit right now in the bottom of the 7th inning. It has been all about the pitchers in this one. A total of 2 runs, a total of 6 hits combined by these two teams.
Dean Kramer, 5+ innings, 2 hits, a run, walk 2. Danny Coulomb and Jorge Lopez, 2 perfect innings. Zach Littell, 1 run and 4 2/3. And Hayes with a soft ground ball to second baseman Lau. And that is out number 2. Earlier today, select Birdland members got to participate in a special pregame picnic party as part of the Birdland Membership Rewards program. Every membership comes with exclusive access to Birdland Rewards, giving fans access to one-of-a-kind experiences like a pregame picnic, mystery autograph sessions, meet and greets, and selfie days. Purchase your membership for next year. Visit Orioles.com/members. Strike one, 98 to Adam Frazier. Stevenson's got an electric arm, 98. The cutter is the best pitch for him with a swing and miss rate of 59%. And an opposing batting average of a cool 0.88.
You talk about a tough customer too. Because there's no way you can sit on anything off speed because the fastball has so much velocity to it.
Adam Frazier is fouled out, flied out. And Frazier lifts one into right center field, dumps it in for a base hit. Adam Frazier with a 2-out single in the Orioles 7th.
Boy, Adam Frazier always impresses me. How he gets the balls, high velocity fastballs on the inside part. This is 98. And in the back of your mind, you got to be thinking about something off speed too. And 98 right in on his hands. It hit it hard, but he hit it just in the right spot and dumps it out there, just in front of the center fielder, Margot.
Frazier at first for Ramon Arias. How aggressive might the Orioles be here?
I wouldn't be shocked here to see Frazier take a shot.
Neither would Stevenson, who just checked at first.
Ramon has been really good as of late. Always good in the month of September. Seems like he comes up with a lot of big base hits, runners in scoring position. Be nice to see Frazier take a shot to get to second base.
So 2-0 for Ramon Arias.
And there is a big hole to the right side too. Diaz happened to hold Frazier on at first base, and Ramon's been really good shoving the ball that way too.
Would you think about not stealing him just to keep the hole on?
I'm thinking about maybe putting him in motion and trying to get Ramon to hit it to the right side.
Frazier not going, and the pitch is high. 3-0 for Ramon Arias. Stevenson's last unintentional walk was August the 6th against Detroit. He's faced 46 batters since then. And he throws a 3-1 cutter, and Arias swings right through it. Now Frazier will be in motion with the 3-2 2-out situation. And Arias lifts it to short left field for Tristan Gray. Robert Stevenson, another scoreless inning, and this game is tied after 7. Aston is brought to you by True Blue Maryland Crab Program. True Blue Maryland Crab Program, encouraging all Marylanders to eat local crab meat, verified with the logo. For more info, go to marylandsbest.net. And by American Standard Air, find your local independent American Standard Air dealer at midatlanticcomfort.com. This game remains tied at 1. A first inning run for Tampa Bay. Not sure what that was all about. A fourth inning run for Baltimore. Good day for cotton candy and camaraderie and terrific baseball. 37,297.
Fixing to say another terrific crowd.
On this Sunday, September the 17th. Jorge Lopez still out there, still throwing gas. 1-1 to Manuel Margot. Cap giveaway day, a whole lot of white peppered into the orange mix. Margot chases a knuckle curve, 1-2. Shintaro Fujinami is up in the Orioles bullpen. A left-hander and Tristan Gray on deck, then a right-handed Christian Bethancourt. Tampa Bay 7, 8, and 9. High fastball jammed to second base. Frazier's been busy and he throws out Margot. 3 up, 3 down for Jorge Lopez. Vote Kyle Gibson for the 2023 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One, recognizing players who best represent the game through positive contributions on and off the field. Vote today at MLBtogether.com/Clemente21. There's Tristan Gray, who is late on 98. Lopez stays in to face the lefty.
Wow. That ball's got velocity and it's got explosion through the zone too. Good sinking fastball, hard left to right.
Try to get another one by him.
Looks like Cionel Perez and Yennier Cano.
Breaking ball fouled away by Gray. So Fujinami has sat down. And the Orioles with their two highest leverage relievers left up in the bullpen behind Lopez. Gray with a fly ball driven into center field and deep. Cedric Mullins at the wall, and Mullins could not get to it. Tristan Gray in his first big league start has the biggest hit of his life. A home run to make it 2-1 Tampa Bay in the 8th.
Picked up his first career hit his last time up. This one his first career homer. 104 off the bat, 415 feet it went. And the Rays take a 2-1 lead. Fastball elevated just a shade too much, trying to get that ball down and away. And boy, I mean just inches from Cedric Mullins' glove.
Well, you mentioned a big power for Tristan Gray with the AAA Durham Bulls. Waited 7 years for this. He picked up his first big league hit one at bat ago, and he may have just hit the biggest home run of the Rays season. Christian Bethancourt drives one to center field. That ball is deep. That ball is gone, and this game has turned into a 3-1 Tampa Bay lead. The 8 and 9 hitters at the bottom of the Rays order have turned this game around.
And the Rays just keep hitting home runs too. We talked about them, 4th most home runs in baseball. That is up big time. 216 home runs this year. Only 139 home runs total last year for the Rays.
Here's Yandy Diaz. 415 and 411 off of Jorge Lopez. It's really been the story of Jorge Lopez this season. Pockets of dominance that the Orioles saw last season, but marred by inconsistency and by extra base hits between Minnesota, Miami, and now here in a big spot. Gives up his 10th and 11th home runs of the season. Two and one. Ground ball to second from Diaz, and Jorge Lopez just spikes his glove down on the out, knowing that that is his last batter. As Cionel Perez will come in to face Brandon Lau.
Yeah, because he was dominant. First 3 batters he faced just dominated. This is just frustration here.
Getting into third gives up 2 solo home runs. The Rays have the lead. The O's go back to the bullpen.
As of late has Cionel Perez making his 59th appearance of the year. ERA 3.24, 42 punch outs in his 50 innings of work. The opponent's hitting .269 off the left-hander, Perez.
Jorge Lopez in an inning and a third, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, a strikeout, 22 pitches, 17 strikes. For 3 batters, his stuff looked like it did when he was an All-Star last year. But in the span of 3 pitches, Tristan Gray and Christian Bethancourt hit home runs to make it 3-1 Tampa Bay. And now the Orioles will have to score 2 runs off a bullpen that's allowed 1 earned run in its last 41 1/3 innings. And we'll have some big hitters coming up. They have to keep it right here, right now. Brandon Lau fouls one out of play.
Boy, Cedel Perez has not allowed an earned run in his last 20 outings. That's over 16 1/3 innings pitched.
Orioles will have McCann, Henderson, and Rutschman due up against, it appears, Pete Fairbanks, the usual Tampa Bay closer, who will come in for the 9-1 and 2 hitters. Heston Kjerstad and Aaron Hicks among the bench options if Brandon Hyde wants to pinch it for McCann and get Adley Rutschman, the DH, into the game to catch. 2-1 to Lau first. And a slider. Wow. Beautiful one, 2-2.
When Cedil's landing that breaking ball there, that ball's got a lot of vertical to it, a lot of vertical drop, but a lot of horizontal with it.
That's a ground ball to second base. Adam Frazier there. And we will go to the bottom of the 8th. McCann, then Henderson and Rutschman. O's need 2 to tie. Telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Well, the Orioles need a rally. They need a rally to avoid falling into a first-place tie with the Rays with 2 weeks to go, and they will try to get that rally against Pete Fairbanks here in the 8th.
Yeah, Pete Fairbanks making his 46th appearance of the year. He's been very good, 24 for 26 in save opportunities. How about the strikeout to walk ratio? 61 punch-outs and just 41 1/3. Opponents hitting only 153 up against the big right-hander, Fairbanks.
And the Orioles will send up Heston Kjerstad as a pinch hitter in his 3rd major league game. His first big league hit on Friday night, a towering home run, the only hit the Orioles had in 7 innings, off of Zach Eflin. Kjerstad flicks one out of play for a strike 2.
This is how Heston Kjerstad collected his first big league hit. It just happened to be a home run. Well out toward right center field. That was off Zach Eflin in game 2 of this series.
1-0-1 at the knees, and Kjerstad quickly back to the bench on the 8th strikeout for Rays pitching.
Well, that's almost not fair. 1-0-1 by Fairbanks, and I mean perfectly placed right at the bottom of the zone.
Robert Stevenson, an inning, a hit, a strikeout. Poche struck out 3. Now Fairbanks with a punch out. Here's Gunnar Henderson. It's a little bit low at 100. Opposing batters against Pete Fairbanks are hitting 153 and are slugging 201. 3 extra base hits on the year. And 165 batters faced. Henderson an 0 for 3 day, 4 for 16 in this series. One pitch. 1-2. With a win, the Rays would move into a virtual tie for first with the Orioles. Tampa Bay has played 2 more games. With an Orioles win, they'd be 2 up on the Rays. Henderson down swinging on a slider in the dirt. Back-to-back strikeouts for Pete Fairbanks.
101-mile-an-hour fastball, and you back it up with a really good breaking ball.
Nine strikeouts, 0 walks for Tampa Bay pitching today.
Yeah, the Rays struck out, what, 15 in game 1 of this series, 13 in game 2 of this series.
Adley Rutschman with a double in the first. There may not be a scarier pitching staff to face in the playoffs, and that's without McClanahan, Springs, or Rasmussen, the Tampa Bay Rays.
That's why it's so important, and you touched on it earlier, to carry a lead into the late part of the game against the Rays. Because when they can carry a lead against you and they start bringing in this relief group that's been better than anybody as of late, it makes it that much more difficult.
Rutschman trying to compel the tying run to the plate. 1-2 with 2 out in the 8th. And Adley stays alive. Tampa Bay has used 40 pitchers this season, a few position players, but they have gone deep, deep, deep into their organization. And they've got most of their best relievers healthy right now. They're still without Jason Adam, who has been terrific for them. Trying to return from an oblique issue. 2-2 again. Pitch number 7. That ball's cranked deep right field. Adley Rutschman has made this a 1-run game. A big-time response from the Orioles designated hitter. Adley Rutschman injects some life into Oriole Park. It's 3-2.
It can be done. And I'm going to tell you what, this is one of the most impressive swings I've seen from Adley Rutschman, and there's been a pile of them. This ball 101, and I mean on the inner third of the plate, and somehow he got the barrel to it and powered it out. Rutsch's 19th long ball of the year, his 72nd RBI, and the Orioles draw within 1.
Another $500 for James Crutchfield, our Maryland Lottery contestant, on this swing.
Well, how good was that? I mean, that ball's elevated too at 101, and Rutschman quickly turns that one around.
It just got awfully loud in here. Only the 4th extra base hit, 3rd home run allowed by Pete Fairbanks, who's faced 167 batters. 1-1 for Tony. A little bit high. There's his slider for a strike, 2-2. Anthony Santander searching for his first hit of the series. The Oriole RBI leader for a 2-2. That's fouled straight back over our heads. We'll do it again. It's an almost impossible task coming back against this bullpen, but there have been few impossible tasks for the Orioles this year. With 46 comeback wins, exactly half of their wins on the year. Fouled away again by Santander.
Yeah, it's back-to-back years for the Orioles on comeback wins, too. 46 this year, 82 combined the last 2 years. Only the Dodgers have more.
Seventh pitch to Santander. And he strikes out swinging. So Fairbanks gets his man, strikes out 3 in the 8th, but Adley draws the Orioles closer.
Yeah, Adley Rutschman quickly turns this heater around, and the boys in the dugout know it. We got a good one for you.
Wild 8th inning saw the Rays score 2 on a couple of home runs. The Orioles get 1 on a home run from Adley Rutschman. It is 3-2 Tampa Bay. The difference between a 2-game lead in the East for the Orioles and a tied first place in the division with 2 weeks to go. The 9th inning will belong to Shintaro Fujinami.
Yeah, and he needs to stack a 0 right here for the Orioles, making his 59th appearance between Oakland and Baltimore. 81 strikeouts and 75 innings of work. Opponents hitting .239 off the right-hander, Fujinami.
Adley Rutschman, who was DHing, stays in the game to catch. Cino Perez faced one batter. That was Brandon Lau in the 8th. He retired him. And Fujinami, the fourth Orioles reliever of the game, will face a Rosarena, Lowe, and Paredes. Tampa Bay's 3, 4, and 5. First pitch. A good one. Randy Rosarena nearly ended up in the Oriole dugout.
I don't know what to think about Randy Rosarena. He is just all over the place. One thing about it, he does not get cheated at home plate.
He might be the most player in baseball. Most whatever. Wearing cowboy boots to shag fly balls, doing the arms crossed Randy move. Sometimes he looks like a Gold Glover in left field. Sometimes he looks like he's never played left field. But the numbers are really good. The Rays love him. The people at Tropicana Field love him. They have Randy Land every Friday night. And he's been a consistent middle of the order hitter on this team. Up and in, 2-2. There's nobody warming for Tampa Bay, which makes us think it'll be Fujinami and then Fairbanks again in the 9th. A Rosarena down swinging, and Shintaro Fujinami's surge continues here with the Orioles.
Yeah, he just rears back for a little extra for Randy Rosarena in 97, just to the top of the zone. Well, we have seen some big arms on by both sides in this one.
Batter to batter, you just feel Fujinami figuring it out here with the Orioles. Here's Lowe. Wow. Josh Lowe 2 for 14 in the series, walked in the 4th. Three home runs for the Rays in the game for all of their runs. Brandon Lau in the 1st. Tristan Gray and Christian Bethancourt in the 8th. D. Kramer was really good. 1 run in 5+ innings. Danny Coulombe an inning and a 3rd scoreless. Jorge Lopez an inning and a 3rd, gave up the 2 solo home runs in the 8th. Cino Perez got it out.
Yeah, the Orioles have out hit the Rays at this point. But the Rays 3 home runs versus the Orioles 1 home run. 4 of the 5 runs have come on solo homers between these two teams.
Lowe sprays one the other way, left center field, out toward the wall, and that ball one hop to the fence. And for the first time today, Tampa Bay puts a runner in scoring position as Josh Lowe doubles.
Josh Lowe gave this a pretty good ride too, the opposite way. Hayes was shaded a little bit toward left field. No chance for him to get there. The ball kept slicing away from Cedric Mullins. See Mullins off and moving. He was shaded slightly towards left center field, but no shot to get this one. One hop off the wall right there at 398.
Second double of the series for Lowe. Here's the dangerous Paredes. Rays home run and RBI leader. Ball one from Fujinami. They're in the top of the 8th in Cleveland. The Guardians 9, the Rangers 1. A Cleveland win means both the Orioles and Rays are into the playoffs no matter what happens today. Of course, nobody on the field, nobody in the dugout, and probably not many in the stands are focused on the result of that Cleveland game right now. Cano continues to throw here in the 9th. Left field from Paredes. That ball down the line. That ball is foul.
That kind of shows you what kind of power Paredes has too. This ball right off his hands, but still one hops the wall right there at 333. Just foul.
Paredes 0 for 11 in the series with a walk. But you just saw a little bit of what he can do. 1-2 pitch in the dirt, and a beautiful pick by Rutschman. Shintaro Fujinami, a pitcher who was pitching for the worst team in baseball in Oakland, finding himself in another big spot in a division chase. His 2-2 is outside. Young designated hitter Aranda waiting. 3-2. There goes Lowe. And he steals third. He was timing up Fujinami that whole at bat. And Josh Lowe steals his 30th base of the year.
Yeah, you're right. He was bouncing around out at second base and got an outstanding jump off Fujinami. So now at first and third and only one out situation.
Cano appears to be ready in the bullpen. Ground ball pitcher. Brandon Hyde will not go to him. It's the DH Aranda. Ball one. Paredes only one stolen base at first. The Rays with 155 as a team, second most in baseball. Aranda fouls it away. And yet Cano is still throwing in the Orioles bullpen. Shintaro Fujinami trying to hold Lowe at third in the 9th. Orioles have the middle of the order coming up against Pete Fairbanks. Fouled away again by Aranda on a high splitter.
All right, Fuji's where he wants to be now. Cano is ready to go. And if you're Fujinami, you're thinking one thing right now. He has to have a strikeout here.
Step off with a pitch clock at 3. First disengagement. Any sense of where he might go here?
Well, he just threw the splitter at 94, and it didn't have a whole lot of action to it. So I don't know what kind of confidence he's got there. So it's got to be an elevated fastball.
Time now called by Aranda.
And that's the thing about Fujinami's split finger fastball, right? I mean, some days it's really good. He can throw it really good for 2 or 3 pitches, and then it seems to flatten out from time to time. The pitch for him, and I think it's turned around, has been the fastball. I think that's what's really turned him around since becoming an Oriole, as he's starting to use that fastball a little bit more.
There's a fastball again. Aranda gets a piece of it. Stays alive, 1-2. Jonathan Aranda has had some trouble with high velocity this season. Has fouled off a couple of fastballs here. First and third, 1 out. 3-2 Tampa Bay in the 9th. The difference between a 2-game lead or a tied top of the division with 2 weeks to go. And Aranda hits a ground ball to first. O'Hearn coming to the plate. The tag is not in time. Lowe is safe, and the Rays take a 4-2 lead. The throw beat him. The Orioles will look to see if there's a challenge, and immediately they will signal for one. Nothing to lose at this point, giving it a shot.
Boy, that is close, and that oven mitt might have gotten in there, because you see where the tag is. The tag is kind of up on the shoulder. Did Josh Lowe get that hand in there or not? You know, and the feed wasn't perfect for O'Hearn. It was a little bit high to Rutschman, so he had to go up to get it and then reach way back behind him. If that feed is a little bit lower, it gives Rutschman a chance to get there a little bit faster.
Crowd tells you what they think. When does the glove get the oven mitt?
Yeah, because it almost looked like the glove of Rutschman may have got around the elbow first. It may have touched Lowe around the elbow first and then the shoulder. See, does he get him right there? If he gets him right there, obviously he's out.
We go back to the standard of replay review a lot, and the question is that enough?
Yeah, is that enough? And honestly, I think he's out, but I don't know that there's enough there to be able to tell for sure, because the call on the field obviously was safe. It looks like he tags him right there.
This could be the whole game right here. Is there clear and convincing evidence for the replay review center in New York City? If there is, there are 2 outs in the 9th. If there's not, Tampa Bay has a 2-run lead. This is one of the longer reviews we've seen this season, and understandably so, given the circumstances, given the razor-thin margins of that play. $37,297 have made their voice heard. Unfortunately, they don't get a vote. Still waiting to hear from Vic Carapazza. Here we go.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is out.
Well, how about that? Saved by the video camera.
Wow. I'll be honest, I didn't think that one was getting overturned. I didn't know. I thought he tagged him. It looked like he did, but I didn't know if there was enough evidence or not. But apparently it was, and that is huge for the Orioles. Shintaro Fujinami is out. Looks like Yennier Cano will try to get the last out. Of Shintaro Fujinami. Runners on first and second, 2 out. Cano making his 65th appearance of the year. ERA outstanding at 2 even, 67 in the third, 58 punch-outs, only 11 walks, and opponents hitting .227 off the right-hander Cano, who is looking for that last out here in the top of the 9th inning, trying to keep it exactly where it is and give this Oriole offense to tie it or win it in the bottom of the 9th.
It's been an amazing baseball game. 1-0 Tampa Bay after 1. The Orioles tied into the 4th. The game remained tied until the 8th when the Rays got back-to-back home runs from Gray and Bethancourt off Jorge Lopez. O's got one back in the 8th with Adley Rutschman. Now Manuel Margot against Cano. And with 2 on and 2 out, Cano throws strike 1. Runners are Paredes at second, Aranda at first. Margot is 0 for 3. And Margot hits a ground ball foul. Yennier Cano trying to strand 2 more inherited runners and give the Orioles a puncher's chance in the 9th. Is 0-2 for Margot. Is grounded down to third. Urias has it cleanly. Ryan O'Hearn will lead off the bottom of the 9th. Cedric Mullins and Austin Hayes to follow him. 2 runs to the postseason. Ryan O'Hearn, playing in his 99th game of the season, has been perhaps the Orioles' most consistent hitter this year, a season which he began in AAA. And here he is batting cleanup for the best team in the American League, trying to keep them that way. 3-2 Tampa Bay, bottom of the 9th. Pete Fairbanks, strike 1 to Ryan O'Hearn. This is an unusual spot for Fairbanks, who has not thrown more than 1 inning this season. Asked for a 6-out save by Kevin Cash. O'Hearn fouls away a slider for strike 2. He has, Ryan O'Hearn, 1 awfully big hit against Pete Fairbanks this season. Back to July 22nd in a tie game in the 9th. The game-winning single in the series that put the Orioles on top of the American League East in sole possession, where they were until yesterday and where they are again. 1-2 for O'Hearn.
And if I remember correctly, that was off the bench and a pitch hitting performance too for O'Hearn, who did not start that game.
You remember correctly indeed. Part of a 6-5 win. O'Hearn down swinging at 99, and there is 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
Boy, it is high velocity, and it is spotted up well, perfectly, just on the outside part.
The 11th strikeout against no walks for Tampa Bay pitching. Here's Cedric Mullins. 0 for 3 today. Mullins swings, and it's a ground ball to second. Brandon Lau is there, and the Orioles are down to their final out. It's an unusual situation because while the Orioles are down to their final out, in Cleveland, the Texas Rangers are down to their final out in a 9-1 game. And that means with 1 more out, the Orioles clinch a postseason berth. But they would rather not do so in a loss to fall back into a first-place tie with Tampa Bay. It's up to Austin Hayes. First pitch swinging at strike one. The Rays tie the Orioles with 2 weeks to go in the East with a win. The Orioles move 2 games ahead with a win of their own. Hayes with an RBI single in the 4th. Now ball into left center field off the end of the bat, and the Orioles are alive courtesy of Austin Hayes. His 2nd hit of the game, and he'll be removed for Jorge Mateo as a pinch runner at first.
Big day for Austin Hayes. 2 for 4. An RBI. There's that breaking ball, and Austin Hayes just sticks his nose on that one and does enough with it to shove it out towards center field.
And now the Orioles have their fastest player as the tying run at first, and Adam Frazier will bat. How long will Jorge Mateo be at first?
Not long.
There he goes. No, he holds. He deked him out. And it's a low strike one to Frazier. Meanwhile, in the middle of all this, it is a final in Cleveland. Guardians 9, Rangers 2. And the Orioles are going to the postseason in 2023. Certainly nobody on the field knows it. And again, this win is hugely impactful in the course of the division. But the Orioles have just clinched a return berth to the postseason in 2023, as have the Rays, by the way. Mike Elias, the Oriole general manager, watching on. Mateo still not going. 1-2 for Frazier.
Yeah, Fairbanks doing a pretty good job of holding Mateo at first base, too. For a big guy, he's pretty quick to home plate. See that right foot just at the cut of the grass. So an above average lead for Mateo.
He's going now. The pitch is grounded, just foul. Diaz tried to will it fair with his body on the line.
Diaz tried to move that ball into fair ground. Boy, somehow Mateo is off and moving on the pitch, and Frazier can get a ball either down the line or in the gap. Mateo could very well score from first base.
A season high pitches for Fairbanks, looking for a 2-inning save. And Frazier lofts one foul the other way, staying alive with 2 strikes. Adam Frazier has been one of the Orioles' best late game performers. Fighting for his life here in the 9th inning. Mateo's going, and the pitch is fair. Fair ball inside the bag.
Here we go.
Here he comes. Mateo around third. He is going to score. This game is tied. Adam Frazier comes through.
Come on now, Frage. You thought for a second if Mateo could get in motion and somehow Frazier get a ball down the line or in the gap, there was a chance. 20th double of the year by Frazier, and the Orioles aren't done yet.
It is chaos at Camden. Here comes Kyle Snyder to settle this game down. The Orioles, down to their last strike, come back from the dead to tie it against Fairbanks.
And this line just keeps on moving. That ball's not even a strike, and Frazier just kind of leans into it and just shoots it down the line to third baseman. Paredes well off the bag, and no doubt all the way from first base. There comes Mateo, and we are all new again.
The story of a season encapsulated in one glorious swing from the first-year Oriole, Adam Frazier, who now represents the winning run. Aaron Hicks pinch hitting off the bench. And Hicks takes strike one. A 2-hit game with a walk yesterday for Hicks, who has been red hot. He can win it with a base hit. 0-1. Hicks takes down and away. Take a moment, wherever you are. Just check your pulse. One and two. Big swing there by Hicks. They've already clinched a postseason berth, but now they can put the icing on the cake of this glorious Sunday. Hicks started to swing, and he did not. He checked his swing. It's 2-2. "38 pitches for Pete Fairbanks. That is a new career high. Here comes the 39th. Hicks drills it into right field, and Lowe is there. He hit it right on the button. But this game is alive, courtesy of Adam Frazier. We'll see you in the 10th. Between innings, Camden Yards got the news officially that the Orioles are back in the Major League Baseball postseason. The Texas Rangers losing to Cleveland. The Orioles clinch a postseason berth. It will be the first under Brandon Hyde. And the Orioles can still win this game. Even though they've clinched, they have a lot to play for. Adam Frazier with a 2-strike, 2-out tying double in the 9th. Scored the pinch runner Jorge Mateo. After, with 2 out, nobody on, Austin Hayes singled. And the Orioles and Rays are in the 10th. Yennier Cano is on to face Tristan Gray. New defense behind him. And Gray with a high bouncing ball. That's fielded in fair territory by Rutschman. It's as good as a bunt. And it moves the automatic runner, Manuel Margot, down to third. So a 2-3 out for Gray. Margot at third, 1 out. And Yennier Cano, the Oriole All-Star, will face Christian Bethancourt. What an absolutely insane 9th inning we just saw. And it's not going to be Bethancourt. It'll be Harold Ramirez pitch hitting.
This is playoff baseball is what it is.
Yeah, you want a sense of what the postseason's going to sound like here?
This is it.
You got it. A couple of minutes ago. Ramirez, a superb pinch hitter. Runner at third, 1 out. And Ramirez, a high bouncing ball. There's no chance to get the out at the plate. The Rays just hit 2 super balls straight into the ground. They score the automatic runner, and they take the lead back at 4-3.
Yeah, I mean, nothing you can do defensively on either one of these balls. This ball is, what, shot 30 feet in the air.
Rays take the lead on a ball hit at a launch angle of -75 degrees. Well, that means the Orioles are going to need at least one more to keep this game alive. We knew they would need one more at least anyway. And now Cano's got to get Yandy Diaz. So that will go as an unearned run against Cano. Unearned run in extra innings, but it gives the Rays the lead. And the Orioles in the bottom of the 9th inning will have the pitcher spot coming up. Then Henderson and Rutschman. DL Hall, Jacob Webb both out in the Oriole bullpen. It's the pitcher spot because the Orioles pinch hit for James McCann with Heston Kjerstad, then lost the DH with Adley Rutschman. Jordan Westburg had a bat, so we can assume it will be Westburg, Henderson, and Rutschman in the bottom of the 10th. And Rutschman calls time to talk to Cano. Pete Fairbanks is not going to come back to this game after 2 innings of relief. It will be the former Oriole Shawn Armstrong to try to close out the game for Tampa Bay. So 2-1 to Diaz after the meeting at the mound. And a ground ball right back to Cano. Look what I found. Tampa Bay scores the automatic runner. 1 to tie, 2 to win. To the bottom of the 10th we go. Westberg will come to the plate for perhaps the biggest at-bat of his life here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Westberg to be followed by Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman, and they will face former Oriole with a minuscule ERA.
Yeah, look at the ERA for Shawn Armstrong, making his 34th appearance, .77 ERA, better than a 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio, and opponents hitting 174 off the right-hander Armstrong.
Armstrong, part of the Orioles bullpen for parts of 2019, 20, and 21. Was a Ray, was a Marlin. He is back with the Rays, pitching the best ball of his career. And he will start with a runner behind him at second. In extra innings, it'll be Aaron Hicks, the automatic runner.
Yep, so good speed, above average speed out at second base.
You play for one here if you're the Orioles, or play for the win?
That's a great question. I think it just depends on what Westberg can handle right here. You know, what pitches he's going to get. I mean, worst case scenario, you'd like to see a ground ball to the right side, at least get Hicksy to third with just 1 out. I think that's going to be Westberg's approach.
So Pete Fairbanks, a season high 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned, 4 strikeouts, a career high 39 pitches. The Orioles score off him in the 8th and in the 9th. Westberg swings through a cutter, 1-1. This game was tied at 1 into the 8th. And then all you know what has broken loose. Back-to-back home runs from Gray and Bethancourt for Tampa Bay. A home run from Rutschman in the 8th. A game-tying double from Frazier in the 9th. Now the bunt shown, and the bunt laid down foul on a 1-1 count by Jordan Westberg. So that puts Westberg in a 1-2 hole against a pitcher with a 50-8 strikeout to walk ratio. Hicks the lead at second, a tying run with nobody out, and Westberg down swinging. A huge first out recorded via the strikeout by Shawn Armstrong.
Boy, 97 too, and I mean placed perfectly again, just on the outside part. Up to Gunnar Henderson now.
An 0 for 4 night for Gunnar, a rarity. First pitch taking, it's off the corner. "39 straight innings without a home run for Armstrong. 13 straight outings without an earned run. He has been about untouchable of late. Henderson fouls one out of play, 1-1. Of course, he does not need to allow an earned run here. Just an unearned one would do with the automatic runner at second. Gray plays right behind Hicks to hold the secondary lead. A 1-1. And it's popped up by Gunnar into short center. Gray drifting out. He's called off by Margot. And once again, the Orioles are down to their final out. They were down to their last strike in the 9th. They are down to their last out in the 10th. And now it's in the hands of Adley Rutschman. His last swing down the bleachers. Strike 1. The Orioles have already clinched a postseason berth by virtue of the Rangers' loss. They are trying to keep Tampa Bay at arm's length in the East. Hicks the tying run at second. Here's the 0-1. Rutschman fights it off. Up the middle. It's through. Here comes Hicks. He will score. They've done it again. Orioles magic is alive and well.
Do you believe? Down to their last out again. Boy, Adley Rutschman, his last 2 at-bats, a homer. And this RBI single right back up the middle. We having any fun yet?
If this isn't fun, I can't wait to find out what fun is. A called strike now to Anthony Santander. Adley Rutschman, who was in an 0 for 13 coming into yesterday, has driven in 3 runs on 4 hits and a walk the last 2 days. What a weekend for him. Santander pops it up out of play. You know, Brandon Hyde a couple of days ago moved Adley Rutschman out of the leadoff spot. He wanted him to get a little bit more time at the start of the game after taking off the catcher's gear. And though that may only happen once in a game leading off an inning, he is enjoying the number 2 hole once again. 0-2 is outside. Now, we haven't seen these kind of swings and at-bats in a little while from Adley Rutschman, and we see them in the ultimate moment.
The one big swing from Santander right now.
Left side off the mound. It's backhanded by Gray. It's short. And 10 innings was just not enough. This game goes to 11. We go. The Orioles have scored in the 8th, 9th, and 10th. And now they'll turn to their 7th pitcher of the day, DL Hall, out of the bullpen.
Yeah, DL Hall making his 12th appearance of the year. 1-0 record, 12 innings of work, 16 strikeouts. A really good number, so better than 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Opponents hitting 300 off the left-hander, Hall.
The automatic runner behind him will be Yandy Diaz. DL Hall is on to face Lau, Arozarena, and Lowe. Lefty, righty, lefty. The Orioles make some more defensive changes behind him. We'll get to those in a moment. Each team with an unearned run in the 10th. Tampa Bay's against Cano on a couple of groundouts. Baltimore's against Armstrong on a Rutschman base hit. And it is Hall and Lau. Brandon Lau could not hold up. That's strike 1. A maddening, mystifying, magnificent baseball game on this Sunday afternoon, threatening to become Sunday evening. So Adam Frazier moves from second base out to right. Jordan Westberg, who pinch hit in the 9th spot, remains in the game at second. That's a terrific block by Rutschman, smothering a slider to keep Diaz at second. The reason the Orioles make those changes, Anthony Santander was the last out of the 10th. The Orioles have lost the DH, so now they slide the pitcher into the 3 spot, which will be due up 9th. 2-2. And then we've seen DL Hall struggle with command at times, but what you want with a runner on second in extra innings is a strikeout pitcher, and he can be that.
He can provide that. 16 strikeouts in 12 innings of work.
Lau gets a little piece behind third. Henderson tracks it into foul ground. That's an out without an advancement for DL Hall.
Yeah, big time pitch by DL Hall too. Really good breaking ball in the outside part.
Brandon Hyde's going to come to the mound. He can't make a pitching change here. Like DL was ready to give him the ball, though. There's a 3-batter minimum there, DL. Hang on now. So you have a Rosarena at the plate now. Then a lefty in Lowe, a righty in Paredes, a lefty in Aranda. So strategy-wise here, when might you walk a batter to get to a lefty is the question.
I think that's what this visit was about. Hey, if we're going to pitch to Randy Arozarena, everything is on the black of the plate, and if you miss, you're missing off.
Arozarena 5 for 16 in the series with a couple of RBIs. Well, I don't think that's where DL Hall meant to throw it, but it worked. A cutting changeup to jump ahead in the count. Target was way outside by Rutschman. He's going to sit up there again, and Arozarena chases strike 2.
And it was almost like Brandon Hyde wanted to pitch to Arozarena but not throw him a strike. But DL Hall all of a sudden has got Randy Arozarena down 0-2.
In the dirt, Arozarena holds up.
Another good block, too, by Rutschman. Rutsch knows he's got to keep that runner at second base. He cannot advance on a ball in the dirt. And watch this move here. Perfect form, forward lean, kills it right on top of home plate.
3 strikeouts today for Arozarena. Hall searching for another one. That ball fouled away at 97. Last time we saw DL Hall was on Friday night. He faced 3 batters. All 3 of them picked up hits. That was in a 7-1 Tampa Bay win. The Rays had all the momentum. The Orioles win 8-0 yesterday. And now we are in the 11th with Arozarena taking ball 2. The 2-2. A tapper to third base. Henderson in front of the bag. It is in time. A rocket from Gunnar Henderson.
It's every day. It feels like it is every day by Henderson. It was 3 times last night playing the shortstop position. He started at shortstop today, moves over to third. How about this play? Randy Arozarena can get down the line, but he cannot make up for a cannon of an arm that Henderson has. Diaz makes his way over to third, but there are 2 outs, and I mean just in time.
Nothing to challenge there for Tampa Bay. And now it's Josh Lowe, who doubled against DL Hall 2 nights ago. Up and into Lowe. The Rays, by the way, are without Kevin Cash, who was apparently ejected a couple of innings ago. Strike 1 to Lowe, who certainly didn't look like he was ready for a fastball.
No. Clearly was sitting on breaking ball there.
The rookie's 1-1. DL Hall in the 23rd game of his big league career. With a 1-2 count on Josh Lowe. So many young players, first-year players, second-year players, players who've never experienced this feeling, being called upon moment after moment for these Orioles. Lowe with a ground ball to first, and DL Hall comes through. Brian O'Hearn will race into the dugout, pick up a bat, and try to send the Orioles out of here with a win. Prognostication from a few feet behind Ryan O'Hearn comes true, because Ryan O'Hearn, who has been flaming hot from the moment he stepped onto the field at Camden Yards this spring, has a chance to send the Orioles to Houston with a 2-game lead in the American League East, a playoff position in their pocket. And he's going to face Jake Diekman to do it, the Rays' 6th pitcher of the game.
Yeah, Jake Diekman between the White Sox and the Rays, making his 59th appearance of the year. He's worked in 52 innings, struck out 60, and a solid opponent's batting average too. Opponents hitting 195 off the left-hander, Diekman.
Adley Rutschman begins the inning as the automatic runner. The last out was Anthony Santander. But the Orioles, after losing their DH, substituted DL Hall in Santander's spot. So an old National League carryover rule, you do not have to run the pitcher if he was the previous out. Rutschman is the winning run. O'Hearn the batter. O'Hearn squares to bunt. Well, did you know he could do that? Ryan O'Hearn with a sacrifice bunt. He advances Adley Rutschman to third with the first sacrifice bunt of his major league career.
And a big smile on his face too. And I don't think anybody thought that O'Hearn was going to do that right there, but perfectly done. Pushes Rutschman from second or third, and this is good too. This is perfect form. Puts his nose right down behind that bat and just plays catch with that bat, lays it down perfectly. Infield in for the Rays, and you could see it happen again. Mullen is an outstanding bunter. Rutschman at third.
Mullen swinging away, and a big swing at that. Cedric Mullins joined the Orioles late in the year in 2018. Right before Mike Elias, right before Brandon Hyde. He has been a part of this rebuild in a major way. That one nearly escapes the catcher, Rene Pinto. Ball 1.
Watch Pinto here. Slider working away from him. Nowhere near where it was supposed to be.
It would be only fitting if Cedric Mullins, one of the longest tenured Orioles, could put them over the top. And he pops it out of play for strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes from Diekman. Mullins into center field. This should do it. Margot going back. It does not matter. Adley Rutschman will score. And the Orioles, who clinched a postseason berth just a few minutes ago, seal their fate with a walk-off win. A clincher, a walk-off. Control of the American League East. Now that's not bad for a Sunday.
That's how you bounce back. The Rays take the first 2 games of this series. The Orioles take the last 2 games of this series. And now 2 games clear in the AL East. And how about the Orioles? And Cedric Mullins gets it done in a huge moment. DL Hall was outstanding. Runner on second base. He inherited with nobody out. Navigated through it and gave this Oriole offense a chance. Cedric Mullins got down 2 strikes and not trying to do too much. Just a fastball down and away and a simple short swing to the ball. Pushes it plenty deep enough. Adley Rutschman comes home and the Orioles win it 5-4 in the bottom of the 11th inning.
Not in your wildest dreams could you have imagined a moment in a game filled with moments like this. Brandon Hyde is going to the playoffs. Mike Elias's Orioles are going to the playoffs. And Cedric Mullins, who was 6 for 64 in the big leagues 4 years ago and gave up switch hitting 2 years ago, has just driven in the game-winning run to give the Orioles a 2-game lead in the East a couple of innings after they clinched a postseason berth.
How about your Birdland, huh? Long time coming here. This team just continues to come from behind. They continue to show up in the big moments. I mean, it's one game after another. It would seem like a rough spot. I mean, the Orioles had lost 4 in a row, and there was some mumbling going on. Grayson Rodriguez comes out and just stuffs everybody last night. They win game 3 and then walk it off here in game 4 in 11 innings.
There are so many players on this team that have only tasted postseason baseball in the minor leagues, in college ball, in high school, have never done it at the major league level. They're doing it now. They're going to do it with either the top wild card or with the American League East Championship. And the latter of those possibilities just got a lot closer with a win today. The Orioles now 2 games up on Tampa Bay with 13 to go, and they have the tiebreaker. So the Rays would need to be 3 games better than the Orioles in the next 2 weeks. There is work to do, but there has been work done. Adam Frazier kept this game alive in a 1-2 count with 2 outs in the ninth, a tying double. Adley Rutschman tied it with a 2-out single in the 10th. He scores the winning run on a Cedric Mullins sacrifice fly. It is a field filled with heroes clad in orange.
I mean, the Orioles score 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, 1 in the 10th, and 1 in the 11th against the hottest bullpen in baseball.
They've been waiting for a party like this around here for a while now, and they have it. The Oriole bird waving the flag of victory high on the mound. John Means in the middle of it all. D.L. Hall, who got 3 crucial outs in the 11th inning. The Baltimore Orioles, along with the Tampa Bay Rays, become the first teams to clinch a postseason bid in the American League. But it is the Orioles who will be flying a whole lot higher than the Rays tonight. Four series to go and a 2-game lead. The Orioles 93 and 56. The Rays dropped to 92 and 59. And not many folks are leaving this park anytime soon. Want to soak up every last drop of this celebration and the team photo now for the postseason bound birds.
13 games remaining in 2023.
Dean Kramer, who pitched a terrific game, seated in the middle of it all. Then just 2 years ago, this was a 52 and 110 ball club. 2 years ago, and 2 years later, they've won 41 more games at least. It is one of the great turnaround stories in, forget baseball, in American professional sports in a long time.
Happy for Mike Elias, happy for this front office. They had a game plan, and they stuck to that game plan that they had.
There's Felix Bautista, who, by the way, in the middle of all this, threw a bullpen before the game. So maybe
if there's any more good news,
yeah.
Bautista threw off the mound today, and all indications of things went well. So there is a chance.
Maybe, just maybe, you can add the mountain to the stretch run. 5-4 the final. Cedric Mullins, the game-winning sacrifice fly to score. Adley Rutschman Cedric Mullins, Adam Jones was reminiscing when he was officially retiring as an Oriole 2 days ago about Cedric Mullins and how he let Cedric take the field before Adam Jones one game.
I remember that
year, and that was a signal. But it wasn't a linear path, because at the end the next year Cedric was 6 for 64. He ended up all the way in Double-A Bowie. Gave up switch hitting a couple of years after that, became an all-star. 2 years later he played for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic, and now it's Cedric Mullins' RBI. That doesn't officially clinch the postseason berth for the Orioles, but it feels like it does. And what it does do is give the Orioles, again, that crucial separation, that extra game in front of Tampa Bay, because there is still a big prize to go get.
Yep. Still a lot of baseball left. No doubt about that. But it's nice when you control your own destiny, and that's where the Orioles have been for a long time now.
Well, lest we forget, before that sacrifice fly, Ryan O'Hearn did something he had never done as a major leaguer. Laid down a sacrifice bunt. The bunt of your life, Ryan.
Yeah, I hadn't put a bunt down in about 5 years. Hyder was like, hey, can you bunt? I'm like, I don't know. It's been a minute. Well, got Diekman up there. It's not exactly the easiest guy to bunt off of either. But, yeah, you know what? I took my motivation from our last series in Tampa when McCann bunted that ball that would have hit him right in the face.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to stick my nose in there. I'm going to get in there and try to get it down. So, yeah, that was pretty wild. And then Seti came up with the big sac fly there. And, yeah, what a battle. Wow.
Yeah. What can you say about the resiliency of this team, Ryan?
Yeah, we wanted to celebrate today. We didn't want to lose and say, oh, yeah, we're in the playoffs. You know, we wanted to win. The first 2 games of this series was tough. And, you know, the fans came out and supported us like crazy. And we love that, you know, feeding off the energy. We didn't want to let these people down who came out to support us. And, you know, we just tried to get back into the series. And today was a battle like we knew it was going to be against a really good team in the Rays. And, yeah, just crazy how it ended up. And, you know, there's no quit this team. These guys want to win. We want to win every day. And, you know, we're going to battle to the last out. And today was a perfect example of how the wins we've been getting all year.
Ryan, you're 30 years old. You play the first 5 years of your career in Kansas City. Hey, you're younger than me. That's okay. You play 5 years with Kansas City. You start this season in AAA. Here you are, the cleanup hitter on a team going to the postseason. I know you're a pretty thoughtful guy. How do you put this into perspective?
Yeah, praise God. Just there's a lot of downtimes, a lot of just times when I didn't know if something like this was going to happen for me, and that was okay. But you know, I kept working, kept trying to get better every day, and you know, I got put in an amazing situation here in Baltimore, and with amazing people, and it's been a pleasure to show up to the yard every day, get a chance to play this game that I love, and yeah, it's indescribable. Praise God, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. You said you finally let go from the game of baseball.
Yeah.
You let go and just started to relax and say, hey, it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm going to put my time in. I'm going to do my work, and it's going to be what it's going to be from there.
Yeah, exactly. You can't hold it too tight and beat yourself up too much. You got to have fun in this game or it'll eat your life. So, yeah, this year's been amazing.
Ryan, congratulations. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us. I know you got a celebration to get to.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Ryan O'Hearn with a run scored, a sac bunt. The sac bunt to set up the winning sac fly. And he'll get ahead of that clubhouse. That's how it looks. I'm going to head down there, Ben. You hold the fort up here. We're going to send it down to Rob Long for the happiest O's Extra we've had in a long, long time.
Man, you have no idea. Oh, coming up on O's Extra, the O's clinched the playoffs. Late in the Magic capped off by Said. And let's not forget, Kramer at one point sat down 10 in a row. O's Extra presented by PNC Bank is on deck.